Yeah, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the webinar on the family benefit scheme of All India Ophthalmological Society. This webinar is planned because there is a huge demand. We have conducted similar webinar in the North Zone under
The
the leadership.
voice is not clear.
Audio is not clear.
Audio is not clear.
Oh. So this webinar is planned because there is a lot of inquiries about the family benefit scheme and then how it is being beneficial for the younger generation and also what is new about this scheme. Before that, before we go ahead with all this, I just want to introduce the people who are involved in this family benefit scheme for the past 15 years.
Audio is not clear, sir.
Not clear.
Audio is not clear.
Audio is not clear, sir.
Okay.
Not clear.
Is it clear now?
It's better.
Okay. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. So with this small words, I'd like to introduce the people who are involved in the present and the past of family benefit scheme. So this webinar is exclusively for the South Zone. However, there are people who are also attending from all over India this webinar. So initially, next people. Here is Dr. Kuresh Maskati, and he is the chairman of All India Ophthalmic Society, Family Benefit Scheme of All India Ophthalmic Society. He is a very popular man from Mumbai, and he is the president for AAOS from 2014 and 15. And he's got he's the president of International Society of Manual Small Incision Cataract Surgery, President Corneal Society of India 1790, President Bombay Ophthalmic Society. He's a very popular man. So he is the person who is heading as a chairman of this family benefit scheme. And next comes here Dr. Rajvardhan Azad, and he's the person who is behind of all this when it has been started 15 years back. And he is the backbone of this, and he is the presently chairman emeritus. And for him, he's the international man of professor emeritus of RIO Patna. He's the chairman University Service Commission Bihar. And he's the chairman emeritus currently of the Family Benefit Scheme, All India Ophthalmic Society, general secretary of the SARC Academy, and president ROP and ex-chief of RP Center AIMS. And here is Dr. Sriram Murthy. He's the ex-chairman of Family Benefit Scheme, and he's the person along with Samba Shivarao who has started this scheme 15 years back. And they are the two people who have brought this Family Benefit Scheme to this level. And here is Rajesh Sinha, is the General Secretary of Family Benefit Scheme. He is the Professor of Cornea and Lens Refractive Surgery, RP Center, AIMS. Then it is me, Sharad Babu. I am the treasurer, current treasurer of Family Benefit Scheme. And I am a private practitioner, managing partner of the Sharath Magazine Eye Hospital, past Rotary Governor, and past president of Andhra Pradesh Ophthalmological Society, past ARCAOS member. Rajiv Mukherjee, he is a cornea man. He is currently the vice chairman of Family Benefit Scheme AIOS, and his interest is into cornea and ocular surface diseases. He is a visiting professor of Painberg School of Medicine in Chicago. And here is Dr. Sukumar. He is heading the South Zone of a Family Benefit Scheme. All the 4 states he is taking care right now, 5 states, and he is also the moderator for this session. Then comes Satanshu Mathur. He is the Joint Secretary of Family Benefit Scheme AOS. He is also the scientific chairman for the Community Ophthalmology ECOIN. And also he is a popular man in different organizations. And then Inder Mohan Rastagi, he is the Joint Treasurer of Family Benefit Scheme AOS. And Srini, he is the state representative of Kerala FPS AOS. He is a young man involved in this Family Benefit Scheme. He is the chief surgeon in Charitable Trust of Eye Hospital in Thalassery, and also MAM Trust Eye Hospital, Kasaragod. He is the past General Secretary of Kerala Society and the editor, Kerala Journal of Ophthalmology. Dr. Meena Chakrabarti, she's a very active surgeon from Kerala and also a member. He's a panelist. Dr. Ravindranath, he's from Karnataka. He's a former chairman of Scientific Committee KOS, and he's presently in Family Benefit Scheme. Dr. A. Ravindra, he is the Telangana Ophthalmic Society past General Secretary and Pradesh State Representative. Dr. Thangavelu, he is the Tamil Nadu representative. He is the president of Tamil Nadu Ophthalmic Association and he is a phaco surgeon, is a very senior man, and also is very much involved in IMA. And here is Dr. Chaitra Dev, and she is a popular consultant, retina consultant from Narayan Nethralaya. She is a member who is involved as a panelist. So with this brief introduction, I like to invite Dr. Rajesh Sinha, the Secretary of Family Benefit Scheme, to address the gathering and then tell about the salient features of Family Benefit Scheme and how it has been beneficial to the members of the All India Ophthalmic Society. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sharath. And along with all the dignitaries, we also have Dr. Ranjit Manyar, who is the ex-treasurer of FBS and has been instrumental in proving.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Rajesh.
I'll be giving you a brief overview about what is Family Benefit Scheme and why one should join FBS. Now, this started long back, as Sharath was pointing out, that it started 15 years back with Dr. Sriram Murthy and Dr. Sambasiva Rao, who came with this concept that we should have something like a term insurance for the AIOS members. And for protecting the family of the AIOS members, and it started in the first chairman of the FBS scheme was Dr. Madan Mohan, and then Dr. Rajvardhan Azad, who in improving the functioning of FBS. It's basically for all Indian ratified AIOS members, and the death benefit is given for all the causes, which includes even the COVID that we are having, except suicide and homicide. And each member pays a one-time admission fee depending upon the age and an yearly contribution, which is now uniform. The society has grown tremendously over the last 15 years. Initially, the growth was quite fast until 2010-11. The growth was very fast. And then, but the only point was that at that time, the all ages of, higher age as well, and very high age as well. So then people thought that the membership was heavily skewed towards the higher age group. So cutoff was put, and then the growth reduced, but then it's growing again. For the last couple of years, the growth has again picked up, and joining more and more this FBS scheme. As far as the benefit amount is concerned, we started with 50 as the death benefit for the family of the members, family of the deceased member, and then now currently lakhs. So, Sharath, can you just mute? Yeah. So there's a quantum leap from 50,000 to 23 lakhs over 15 years, and I don't think any scheme on this earth can have such a giant leap as this scheme has over the last 15 years. And currently we have 3719 active members, which has now increased to 3721 actually. So the last couple of days we had 2 more members, and the last membership number is now 3896 actually. The expired members are 139. The death benefit that we currently give is 23 lakhs, and the yearly contribution that is needed is rupees 600 per death. Any ratified Indian AIOS member can enroll himself. He has to provide a proof of AIOS life membership, then proof of age in terms of birth certificate or all these certificates that I have mentioned. Any of these can work. Proof of residence by means of election identity card, Aadhaar card, etc. Then a medical certificate is needed to show his fitness. So a medical certificate by a physician, registered medical practitioner, registered with Medical Council of India, State Medical Council, any medical specialist. Format uploaded on the website. So on the website, we have a format uploaded and based on that format, you have to give this certificate. Then there is a self-declaration that is needed from every person. Right? Can we present?
He is a speaker, Professor Rajesh Sinha.
We have some other admin. Can you please mute the other mics, please? Admin, can you please mute everyone else? So the member also has to give a self-declaration, authorized affidavit, and that is needed by one and all, that he is not suffering from any major ailment or any major surgery has not been done for any cancer or anything like that. And then nominee details are also needed, and these are in the form of passport size photograph and their Aadhaar card and PAN card. And then now currently we have the upper age limit for joining as 49 years. The reason why we admin, yeah, okay. So the reason why we have put this cutoff is because initially the age was heavily skewed towards higher side, and we were having more deaths, and these it was difficult to sustain the society. So finally, the cutoff has been put at 49 years. As far as payment is concerned, this is the admission fee. So earlier you join, you have to pay less admission fee, and about this, Dr. Srini will be highlighting what is the advantage if you join early. And as far as yearly contribution is concerned, you have to pay rupees 600 per death as per the current norms, which may, of course, if we have increase in membership, we may reduce this yearly contribution per death as well. Then for short-term exit, you have to pay rupees 100 per exit. I'll come to what is short-term and long-term exit. So basically, based on the feedback of members, based on the feedback of people who are our own colleagues and are in this group of family benefit scheme, we have launched a few schemes. This is basically for their benefit. Now, in certain CMEs, in certain meetings, we used to get this feedback that people who are, say, 52, 53, 54, they just missed it out. They said that we missed the bus, we want to become a member, so can you do something for us? So we discussed in executive committee and the managing committee, and we launched this scheme, which is for a very limited time, that is till 30th of June 2020. We provide this opportunity to those who are 49 years up to 56 years. So from 49 to 56 years to join FBS AIOS. Now, currently we have also launched this scheme with initial 50 members who will join in this scheme will be given complimentary registration for the AIOC 2021. So that is something to encourage people to join and be a part of this wonderful scheme. Now, for them, for people who are 49 to 56 years old, the admission fee is higher, obviously, because they have not paid for. If somebody who joins at 30 or 35 will be paying yearly contribution for those many years, so that will be unfair for them. So, for taking that into consideration, we have, after having the opinion of actuary and after having opinion of financial experts, we have kept this admission fee from 49 to 56 years. However, the yearly contribution remains the same for everyone. So whatever extra, whatever less they might have paid because of their late joining, they will pay an admission fee. But the rest of the years, they'll be paying rupees 600 per death. Then we have also launched the exit scheme, about which I was talking. That this was again based on the feedback, because certain people told that in old age, and just recently I have received a mail from one of our biggest stalwarts of AIOS, that, I was one of the oldest members, and currently I want to use the money, so I want to exit the scheme. Is it possible that I can do that? So there were many people who gave this idea that at old age, our children may not be with us, maybe outside, and if we need money for our medical requirement, for our certain emergencies, we should have some provision. So based on that feedback, we started this exit scheme. And there are two exit schemes actually. One is short-term exit scheme and the other one is long-term exit scheme. The short-term exit scheme, those who have completed 12 years of membership from the date of joining, and those who have crossed 65 years of age, they will be eligible for the short-term exit scheme, and they will be receiving a lump sum amount of rupees 4 lakhs. And those who will be completing 20 years of membership and have crossed 65 years will be receiving a lump sum amount of 7.5 lakhs. Now, this 20 years exit scheme will be applicable only from 2024 once this whole scheme completes 20 years. However, the basic idea is that this amount may look like 4 lakhs or 7.5 lakhs, but with increase in membership, this amount can increase further. So we will definitely keep on increasing, and this society is very much dynamic. The rules and the bylaws and the working is entirely dependent on the feedback of our members. So there's no fixed thing like that. We can definitely increase it once we have more membership. For young individuals who are less than 40 years, no medical certificate is needed. That's what we have started. And of course, Srini will be giving us about the issues related to the young individuals, because even now, at this point of time when, people are so much aware, the members of less than 40 years age group is significantly less, and how much less, that Srini will be telling us. Then, so the question arises that why there are so many schemes, why FBS AIOS is a scheme which we should join. The basic thing is that you can become a member just in 10 minutes time. Just by click of mouse, you can become a member. It's a hassle-free online application form, and you can do online payment, upload the certificates, and in 10 minutes time, you can become a member. So it is so simple, so easy. This society is formed by the members, by your own colleagues. So everything has been made user-friendly and for the benefit of the members. The website has become very user-friendly. Every information is there, and it is very easy to use. Then there are, for young people also, this accidental death because of accidents is there now. And anything can happen to anyone. God forbid, nothing should happen to anyone, but still we should be, aware about certain mishaps which can happen to anyone. So this is included in this. Then you can join as early as 25 years, 30 years, and all the claims have been settled within a period of week or 10 days or 15 days. All the members, they get their money in their account. It is online money transfer that is done. And I have received many messages from the family members of the deceased FBS members that they are very pleased with the functioning of the FBS, and it's an hassle-free, and they received the money with a great ease. So they were very, very thankful. And I'm also thankful to their statements that they have sent to us. So why we should join this society? This is a common question that is always asked. So this is basically a society which is formed by the AIOS members for the protection of the families of the AIOS members only. So it is a society of the members for the members. Small amount of yearly contribution is required. Right now, you are paying 600 rupees per death. Currently, we have 3721 members. Now, once we double, suppose we have 8,000 members, we can reduce to 300 per death. And the yearly contribution, suppose there are 10 deaths, as the age is also now, average age is also reducing. Suppose you have 10 deaths a year, then you will just have to pay 3,000 rupees. And such a huge amount you are covered. So that is a big benefit, and the society is very dynamic, and that is why it is for the members. Now, as I said, that all these things, the death rate will also reduce with time as the average age is reducing. So the contribution, and if we, if the members add up, and since we are paying 23 lakhs, so you just divide 23 lakhs by say 8,000 members, the amount is less than 3,000 rupees. So that is the advantage, that here we are collecting money only that much that we require to pay the members, to pay the family of the deceased member. So that is the biggest advantage. Now, no term insurance has an exit scheme. We have started this exit scheme to suit our members who are old for medical reasons. They need some money, or any other emergency, they need money, or they want to utilize their money in their lifetime. You can use it. And as I said earlier, that the amount provided in the exit scheme can further increase if the membership increases. And most of the insurance scheme, they provide support up to a certain age. But here, even up to 85, 90, whatever is your age, the benefit is provided to the member. And of course, the handling of your money is being done by you only. Now, 5-7 years back, 10 years back, I was just a member, but now I am handling the society. Now, somebody who becomes a member today can handle the society 10 years later. So it is by your own people. You are yourself handling your money. You are handling your money by your own elected representative. So it is not a commercial agency. That is the biggest point. Then it is basically the scheme is to suit the members. We keep launching new schemes. We have certain new schemes in the pipeline. And all these are meant to suit the needs of our members. And these are dependent on the feedback of our members. And this is one question which is very often asked, that, why not other term insurance? Why only FBS? So I would just like to tell you, we just wanted to compare. We just wanted to see, become wiser. And we just compared this with age-wise comparison. You can see that how much is the requirement. Like at the age of 30, for somebody to become FBS member, you just require 5,000 rupees. Here you require 7,700 max life, 7,778, 8,260. And then additionally, there will be GST also. And plus, there are so many hidden charges. Similarly, if you go to age 56, see how much is the amount that one has to pay. So, and this is yearly for the rest of the years. Our yearly contribution is much less. It will be 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, whatever, depending upon the number of deaths and depending upon the number of members. So that is why I would once again, emphasize that this is a scheme wherein, we are taking care of ourselves, and nothing can match that when you get the opportunity of handling your money yourself. So that is why I would like to encourage one and all, and particularly the young members, the females, the female perspective, which Dr. Meena will be talking about, why they should become member. It is really, something which one should think now, and really, one should act now. Thank you very much. Dr. Sharath, unmute. Sharath, you have to unmute.
Yeah. They have done that. Now, thanks, Rajesh, for your enlightenment on the FBS AOS and how it is functioning right now. And now may I ask Srini to talk about your experiences and why a young ophthalmologist should join the family benefit scheme? Because the thing is, everybody thinks that this is for the insurance is for the old people. And so why do you think this family benefit scheme, because this is being organized by the society of the members of the AOS, why do you think this is very important to join this family benefit scheme? And how is this beneficial to the young members?
Thank you, sir. Before we discuss on why one should join FBS, we should answer this question. How much do you value a family? you have to consider what will happen to your family when your share of family income stops. Will they be able to live in the same house? Will your kids be able to study in the same school? Do you want your family to live in the same living standards if you're not there also? When that happens at a late age, maybe in the 60s and all, your children would have almost finished their studies. Home loan would have been paid off. You have must have had enough savings for your family to survive for a few decades more. But when you die at an age of 30 to 40, you'll be having a very young family, very young kids, and when you're not there, your family is left to fend for themselves. We in Kerala have 3 IMS social security schemes. Social security scheme 1, 2, and 3. Combined, you have a protection of 75 lakhs. I was talking to one of my friends. He's an anesthetist. I was telling him, friend, see, we should take the schemes because it will protect our family once we are not there. His response was like, I don't want them to feel that I'm not there. If they don't have enough support, they will understand my value. But this sort of attitude, I'm sure, is not there for majority of us. See, we want our family to have the same living standards when we are not there. So this is actually the attitude. When you talk to the industry, insurance industry, you will understand that the older age group, those who are in late 40s and 50s, they had joined when they were 30 and all. They had joined some savings schemes or investment schemes and all, even with LIC. Now the trend is changing. They're telling that those who are in the 30s and all, they're taking term insurance with death benefits only. So that is the scene now. So we have to take that into consideration when we consider the percentage of young individuals in our AIOS FBS scheme. So AIOS FBS gives a death benefit of approximately 23 lakhs. Rajesh actually compared the different schemes. I'll take a different, because LIC is the most transparent of all. So I've taken a scheme where the death benefit is about 25 lakhs. Consider the age of joining, 29 years. So it also has accidental benefit like AIOS FBS. The yearly premium would be 8,152, and the total premium, so the PPT, the premium paying term is 40 years. So the total premium that a person would be paying over this 40 years would be 3,26,080. So let's consider AIOS FBS, somebody joining at the age of 29 years. You can see it here. The admission fees 5,000. Let's take an average of 10 deaths a year. So about 130 deaths over the past 15, 16 years. So it's less than 10 deaths a year. So let's take it as 10 deaths a year. So 600 into 10 is 6,000. So 6,000 is the premium, average premium that we are paying every year. So 40 years, it will be 2,40,000, and the total premium is 2,45,000. Let's compare it with the. I'll come to that. So let's take the somebody who's joining at the age of less than 40. So in LIC Jeevan Amar policy, again premium paying time for 40 years, the total premium, the yearly premium would be 14,726, and the total premium would be 5,89,040. So what would be the premium? An AIOS member who joins the AIOS FBS at the age of 39 years, how much would he be paying over these 40 years? Same calculation. 600 into 10 is 6,000. 6,000 into 40 is 2,40,000. Plus the admission fee added 20,000. That's 2,60,000. So let us compare this. AIOS FBS on one side and LIC on the other side. At the age of 29 years, for a 40-year paying term, the LIC premium would be 3,26,000 and AO's FBS premium is only 2,40,000. At 39 years, LIC premium would be 5,89,000 and FBS premium would be 2,60,000. There's a huge difference in the premium that you'll be paying less when you join AO's FBS. See, there is one more issue. Like Dr. Rajesh said, see, you have a exit scheme, and he said that it might not be quite a lot, the 4 lakh at the end of 12 years. But Dr. Rajesh, it is actually quite a significant amount. See, a person who would be paying, like at the age of 29 years, his joining fees is a nominal 5,000. So every year he would be paying 6,000 into 12 years. Like this is for 12 years, right? So every year 6,000 into 12 years, it will be 72,000, right? So at the 6%, the interest rate is going to go down. The FD interest rate is going to go down. Definitely, it is going to go down after the post-COVID era. So at 6% per year, I'm not taking the compounding and all, but just a simple this thing, 6% per year, the interest would be 4,320. At 12 years, it'll be 51,000. Let's take compounding, even if it is 75,000, it's not much, but taking at 51,840 plus this 72,000, how much would be would you be getting? See, 1,23,840 in AO's FBS. If a youngster joins and he exits after 12 years, see, nobody would be exiting, but it is a mental thing. See, is my money worth being invested? There is an investment opportunity also in this, so you have to you can consider this as an investment plan also. But sadly, among the AO's FBS members, only 7.35% is less than 40 years. If we don't have an actual data of the percentage of AO members less than 40 years, but a rough calculation I've made. See, consider the age of 70 years from 30 years of age. So 4 decades, right? So from 30 years to 40 years is 1 decade. So 1 by 4 is, so there should be 25% of members under the age of 40 years in AO's FBS. But we have less than 10%. This is pathetically low. See, for this presentation, I called up quite a lot of youngsters. I asked them, are you AO's FBS members? No. But are you a member of any other scheme? One fellow said, yes, I'm a member of SDFC scheme. I don't know what the premium I'm paying, and it gives a cover of 1 crore. So, see, as I said, these youngsters want a term insurance. They're not really bothered about the investment part as the older generation was, but they want a protection for their family. But why are they not becoming members? Why have they not yet become members? They have not been made aware of the AO's FBS scheme and its advantages. See, we should congratulate Dr. Rajesh, Dr. Quresh, and an entire leadership of AO's FBS for making a huge effort to popularize this scheme among our members. See, nobody is making any profit out of it. See, we want our youngsters to benefit from this. And AO is under Dr. Namrata, Dr. Mahibal, Dr. Rajesh, and I have all come out with a super guidelines on what to do after COVID, how to start the OT and after. See, Dr. Rajesh and his team is doing similarly a really wonderful job with AO's FBS. So this is a platform where I've been given an opportunity to let youngsters know what are the advantages of AO's FBS, joining AO's FBS. I thank Dr. Rajesh for giving this opportunity. So it is always beneficial. So you have to give the benefit of the family benefit scheme of AOs to your family. Those less than 40 years of age and who are ratified members can become FBS AOs members without any medical certificate. That's a huge advantage. Any other scheme, you have to produce a medical certificate. So this is another advantage. So you, as I said, here you see the investment is much lesser. You can protect your family, and you have the benefit of exit scheme, which is absolutely not there for any other scheme. So this, you have to give the benefit of support of AOS FBS to your family. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Srini. And now, with you as a youngster, I wish a lot of young people also will join, because you have clearly explained that this is a better scheme than any other insurance companies. And after this COVID, the lot of the companies have increased their premiums also. And when you compare with the present scheme, the FBS, what we are having with the other schemes, this is a lot much less. And when the membership is double, as Dr. Rajesh is telling, when the membership is double, automatically the premium what we are paying will come down, or the benefit also to the family will increase, will be doubled. From 23 lakhs, it might go to 46 lakhs. So thank you very much, Srini. And may I ask Dr. Meena about, she's a very popular ophthalmologist in Kerala. And then may I ask her why a lady ophthalmologist or a woman ophthalmologist should join this family benefit scheme, and her perspective, her thinking, her angle of opinion on this family benefit scheme AOS. Dr. Meena?
Meena, you have to unmute. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. At the outset, I would like to thank Dr. Rajesh Sinha and Dr. Ranjit Mania for having given me this opportunity. And it looks as if, as in the general insurance, there is an insurance gender gap in FBS AOS also. I have been a member since 2004 along with my husband. And I remember at that point of time, I asked him, for this small paltry sum of money, why are we joining this scheme? And that time he told me that we are joining basically because we will be helping someone who is less endowed than we are when they face a crisis in their life. So we joined. That was way back in 2004. We have paid our dues regularly and honestly not read a single mail that has been sent to us from FBS AOS. So as compared to the general insurance, where 20% women are covered and 80% men are covered, FBS AIOS also covers hardly 15% of the female ophthalmology population. This exists through all generations, the baby boomer generation to which I belong, and the generation X are very poorly covered. The number of people who have joined are less. But when it comes to the younger generation, it looks as if a little more people, contrary to what Dr. Srini has said, are members. I took this opportunity to ring up 10 of my good friends across the state, ask them to contact 10 friends of theirs, all women, and find out, ask just 2 questions. Are you a member of FBS AIOS? If you're not a member, give 2 valid reasons as to why you have not joined this scheme. And if you are a member, is there anything that you'd like the society to do to better itself and have more women enrolled into it? If you look at the general insurance, where there is a gender gap, you will see that only about 20 to 37% of women are covered. And as the age comes down in the general insurance sector, there are more women, especially women professionals, who take insurance coverage for themselves and their family. Twice as many women who are listed have opted for to be co-insured along with their husbands or their partners. And even now, the male is considered as a dominant caregiver and the breadwinner of the family. And whether a woman takes insurance or not still depends upon his decision. And women are a little more timid than men, and they are more averse to taking risk and claiming their insurance policies. And if you look at the women who have claimed insurance policies in our country, the majority of them are more than 55 years of age. And this is the age group which has the lowest number of policy holders. The age group which is most vulnerable to two main diseases, that is carcinoma breast and carcinoma cervix. And 60% of the policy holders are between 25 and 45 years. They are also vulnerable. We need to create an awareness in women that the insurance coverage is not only for the male member of the family. For example, a single mother, a divorced or a separated woman with a family to look after also needs insurance coverage. Looking at the FBS AIOS, with its 3,802 membership strength, a majority are of the older age group, like what Dr. Srini said, and this is the death rate. And what I'm going to present from now on is what the respondents to my query has said. Some of these are hard-hitting facts, and I hope I don't hurt anybody. These are not my opinion. I have been a very faithful FBS AIOS member, paid my dues, and not read anything that you have sent me. So I put forward these things without insurance, what you will do, it's basically what Dr. Srini has already said. And these are the response that you obtained. Out of the 100 people who took this survey, Rajesh gave me too short a time, or I would have done a bigger survey. Only 15 people by FBS AIOS members, 85 were non-members. And the majority of them who were non-respondents or non-members, the respondent's question was, is there such a scheme? We never knew about it. So FBS AIOS needs a massive awareness drive targeting women ophthalmologists, and with women ophthalmologists actually participating in the drive. On my left-hand side, I have put up the FBS AIOS executive board. There's not a single woman in it. And women should be asked to participate in this drive. Not only that, you can take the help of the state organizations, the Women Ophthalmic Society, and other sister organizations to put across what is it that you have to say to the women ophthalmologists in India. And some of the questions that I received was, why me? These kinds of decisions in my family are taken by my husband. So it is up to us to explain to them that they also need coverage. Not only coverage, it's an act of, you're doing a social service act by providing death benefits to a colleague who may not be in a very good financial position. The second important response that I obtained is an emphatic denial. Why do I need the scheme? I, along with my husband, already have a term life insurance package with its several added advantages that I have mentioned here in this slide. We also have a critical illness health package, which will cover all our critical illness. Why then should I need the scheme? This is another respondent answer. And this was asked by one of the husbands. Is there a reduced premium advantage for women joining this scheme? Because other insurance scheme gives about 15 to 20% lesser premium for women, mainly because women have longer life expectancy and they definitely outlive men. With more money coming in from more premiums that they pay, the amount that the insurer pay, the financial burden on her is much less than that, for about 15 to 20% lesser than for men. Women also have lesser morbidity because they have a healthier lifestyle. Few women in India smoke, and women don't indulge in rash driving, are not prone to road rages as much as their male partners are. And certain illnesses like the coronary artery disease affect men more in the younger and more productive age group rather than the women. Hence, the women are an untapped potential, and putting it across in a proper way to them will definitely, especially a woman professional, can definitely enroll them into the scheme. The next question that the respondents asked me was, can we avail a loan to treat critical illness? Because some of the insurance companies definitely give critical illness insurances. Especially for a woman, the treatment for critical illnesses is extremely costly. For example, the cost of a single vial of Herceptin, if a woman has a breast cancer and she is HER2 positive, is about 1,24,000, and she'll be needing injections every month. So this is a very costly affair. So this is another question that was asked to me, which the society can look into. This is with what information I obtained from people who are not members. From the members' side, there are certain hard-hitting facts which I feel the society should look into. This is not my personal opinion. The first thing was, isn't it better to join after 50 years of age when we need to pay lesser premium? Second is, there is no clarity on how long we have to pay the premium. Do we continue paying till we are 95 years of age? Third question asked was, isn't the initial one-time admission fee too high? Can't you split it into installments? These are all queries which the society should look into. And this is a question, a very delicate issue that a very senior member raised, that she had received 2 membership cards in a span of 2 years. I went back to my archived volumes of FBS AOS. I have 2 volumes, one from 2004 to 2014 and another from 2014 to date. And I found that I myself have got 2 membership cards. So she asked me about the credibility issue of an organization which issues 2 membership cards in a span of 2 years. This is a matter which the society administration should definitely look into. And next is the hardest hitting fact, that some of the communications received are a little offensive. And when messages are sent out, I have underlined this. I'm not going to read it out because I feel that there are other people who will be listening in. This is dated 1/4/2008. If you go back to your own records, you will find out what is written. And when messages are sent from a society, please see to it that the message is not offensive. It does not hurt anyone. It should be politically correct. So basically, I thank you very much for letting me join in. I have put in what women in Kerala feel about the FBS AIOS, and it's up to the society to look at this matter in a very positive way and start an awareness drive and enroll more women members into your society. Thank you very much for your kind hearing.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Meena. All the questions, what all you have asked for, all of them are being answered. I think the appropriate people will answer most of them. And now
I don't need an
No. This is for the public because the same questions are being asked by so many people. We just want to clarify those things so that they will understand how this family benefit scheme is been functioning from the past 15 years. So once the clarity is there, because there might be some communication problems in the past years, but now a lot of things are being rectified by the new committee, and then this association, the latest the committee, they're working hard, starting from the chairman to the members, the state representatives, all of them are involved. There are a lot of meetings happening recently, zone-wise, regarding the state members also are being involved, and then their inputs are being taken. And so a lot of these things have been changed, and even the constitution also have been, we started working on that under the leadership of their chairman, Dr. Quresh and Dr. Maniar and Dr. Sriramurthy and other elder members. All of them are working on to the new constitution, to form a new constitution, because we need to change after 50 years, make some amendments into the constitution. Thank you very much. There are now a lot of questions coming in. Shall I proceed with the questions? Shall
we show the film? Sharath, can we show the film now?
Yeah, film. Rajesh, Rajiv, do you have the film right now?
Yeah, we can do it. Shall I start?
Yeah. Can you show the film? This is about the awareness, what is happened to a young member, what happens for a young member if they just don't concentrate upon joining this scheme, what might happen. And it happened in a couple of members also. So we have made it a movie so that they'll understand it. And then we'll go ahead with Rajiv. Start.
Friends, when death touches you, it brings pain. When FBS touches you, it brings solace and compassion.
Death is a part of life. We all die. We must remember that death spares no one. Neither age nor sex is respected by death.
What happened to Mridula's family now? I mean, kids are so small, and husband in this state. Dr. Dayanand suffered a paralytic attack just last year. Now this. Yeah, we don't even guarantee a response. Very true. That's why when we are alive, we should make an investment. Or ensure ourselves so that later at least our families will not face any chances. Anyway, you all come over to my place sometime. Have you ever thought of securing your life and your family? Yes, Mom. We have taken a life insurance policy to secure our family as well. And every month we are paying hefty amounts on these policies. But I was thinking, Mom, we always think about securing our families. But have you ever thought about others? Like see in case of Dr. Mridula. I'm constantly worried about the kids, the family, the husband. What can happen to them? Why Dr. Mridula? She used to earn so well.
There seems to be a glitch. Just a second.
Okay. So I think there is some problem with the audio visuals, probably the internet problem. I think should we go ahead with the questions, sir? Dr. Quresh?
Yes,
Chairman?
yes. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Now there is one Dr. Sheikh Rabbani is asking that in 2004 she has joined, and then that time she didn't submit the photo and Aadhaar card of the nominees. So she's just asking what to do. Chairman Quresh, Dr. Quresh.
Yes, very simple. Our office is very user friendly. So just submit whatever is required. Get in touch with the office with Rajesh Sinha and his office staff, and they will guide you through submitting the additional things required.
So where do you get the address?
Okay.
That is the question.
Yeah. So
The email address.
Again, one very good thing is for everyone to please visit our website. We have spent a lot of time and effort in upgrading this website. It's www.fbs.aios.in, and every answer that you want, including the address, phone numbers, everything will be found there.
Now there is Dr. Maya Judge. She is asking, Dr. Satanshu, can you answer this? Is it a one-time payment or a yearly payment? Dr. Satanshu.
Yes, Dr. Sharad.
Yeah. So she's asking, is the one-time payment or should we pay yearly?
One-time payment is when we join the scheme, we have to make the one-time payment as per our age. But yearly, we have to make the payment. Like any insurance policy, we have to yearly payment. It depends upon the number of death, which is known as FC, veterinary contribution. So we have to make payment yearly as per number.
Okay. The next question is, how many years we have to pay these premiums from the date of joining? Dr. Satanshu, can you answer this also? How many years we have to pay these premiums?
Premium we have to pay till we are alive. Till we are in the scheme, till we are in this FBS scheme, we have to make the premium. If we do not exit, until unless we are not dying, we have to make the premium. That's why the exit scheme has been made. If you want to exit, you don't want to make payment because of some problems, you can exit the scheme. Otherwise, till lifelong, you have to make the payment.
Please understand that your society is very dynamic, the family benefit scheme, and we are looking at the feedback that we receive and we keep on making changes. So it may be in the future that you might have a finite fee paying period like some of the other schemes. But as of now, what Satanshu is saying is perfectly correct.
So again, the one more question is, Dr. Quresh Muscati, you can answer this also. What they're asking is, in some schemes, there is an age limit. So are you considering such thing in our scheme
yes,
also?
It is under very serious consideration. It can be implemented. Many of these suggestions can be implemented once the numbers increase. You see why LIC and others are able to offer this, because they have lakhs of people who are members. So then they have money to play around with. So once more members join, we'll be able to implement some of these schemes as well.
Yeah, thank you. Now there is one question being asked by one of the member. A young member is asking that, what are the 2 exit plans? So he didn't understand them. Can Rajesh answer? Rajesh Sinha?
Sure. Actually, there are 2 exit schemes right now that we have, started in FBS. One short-term exit scheme and the other one is long-term exit scheme. In short-term exit scheme, a member can exit the FBS if he or she has completed 12 years of membership and has attained 65 years of age. And in long-term exit scheme, has completed 20 years of membership and has attained 65 years of age, he can avail the long-term exit scheme. In short-term exit scheme, the amount that is paid is rupees 4 lakhs. Long-term exit scheme, it is 7.5 lakhs. This is as per current scenario. Obviously, as Dr. Quresh was mentioning, that it's a dynamic society. We keep changing based on the feedback of members, based on the situation. It will definitely change once the membership increases. We may increase the amount of exit scheme as well. But one thing I would like to emphasize, as Dr. Srini was also telling, that whatever you pay, suppose you have paid 80,000, 90,000 or 1 lakh rupees, or even 1.25 or 5, 4 lakhs is still something which is, close to 4 times what you have already paid. So that is also a reasonable amount, a very good amount. But yes, as the society is dynamic, it can also change.
So thank you. There is one comment which has been posted by one of the member who has attended the North Zone the meeting, the webinar. So she is telling that in other insurance schemes, it is that you pay the premium every year and you say 15 or 20 years later on, what they do is only the premium they give back. If you don't want to continue with the insurance scheme, what all you have been paid. But she says that in this scheme, FPS, even though if you are paying the premium, but still you have a chance of both options, that you get back the money. It's not only the premium, but you are adding the interest and then giving back the money. And she says that this is a very good scheme, because after all that, she has gone through all the other plans. So she commented that this is a very good scheme, and then she's joining.
You see, the big difference is that our scheme is by the members, for the members. We are not interested in profits for this scheme. We want to give back to the members. So we keep on modifying the schemes to give more and more money back in the hands of the members. Now this exit is not for, we are not saying that you enter and exit as an investment, but when you genuinely need the money, some strong medical conditions where you have to pay a lot, that is where the scheme helps you to exit.
Now there is one more question from one of the member. So he asks, do you have any income tax exemption for the deposit what we are giving the initial payment, and also for the FC payment? Dr. Rajiv, can you answer this? Dr. Rajiv Mukherjee. Dr. Rajiv?
Rajiv is, I don't think he...
Okay.
Rajesh can answer this.
Rajesh, can you answer this?
Yeah. So as far as what we have checked is that yes, it is exempted. Whatever you pay, you can you can definitely take tax benefit on that, and whatever you get as benefit, that is also exempted. Yes, it does have tax exemption both on payment as well as
on exit.
Yeah, and
Okay.
yes,
So there is an exemption for both the deposit what we are making initial
deposit as well as
also
when
for
you get the death benefit also, that there's exemption.
that also is getting. So
Yeah.
now there is one more question by ophthalmologist. His wife is a non-ophthalmologist. She is a doctor, but she's a non-ophthalmologist. So he is asking a question that if my wife joins the the All India Ophthalmic Society as a member, because he says that any MBBS doctor can join as a member, and then only if he's a member of the All India Ophthalmic Society, even she can join the FBS AOS. Can it be done? That is the question he's asking.
Absolutely correct.
It can be done. It can be done.
So non-ophthalmologist. Now there's one more question from one other doctor. He is asking that his spouse is not a doctor, and then is there a possibility that she can also join the scheme?
As of now, no, but we are trying to amend the constitution to see whether we can take in these people also. So it's under active consideration.
Okay. Now there is one question from another doctor asking that what are the other top-ups, like any medical insurance, you have any other additions to this? And then is there anything else what you are thinking about in the future to additional, apart from the family benefit scheme? Is there anything else you are going to plan for in the future? Because right now he says that he couldn't see anything in the website.
Ranjit Maniar, can you answer this?
Yeah. Any
top
new
up?
scheme,
Yeah.
new scheme that we formulate at FBS is essentially a function of the number of members that you have as on that given date. Once you have 5,000 members, you'll have something more coming as a product. When you have 8,000, you'll have something more coming as a product. And if you don't see something now, is because the membership is currently at a low of 3,800. I mean, 3,800 is not something you want to scoff at, but when numbers are concerned, and especially the lady numbers are concerned, they are woefully low. And our main focus today is going to be on increasing membership. More so, the ladies in AIOS is going to be our focus. Now, with that in mind, we are going to be picking the brains of Dr. Meena and so many other ladies as to what they would want as additional features, benefits, products in the future. But it is all dependent on the number of members that we increase with time. The faster you do it, the more you will be able to roll out better and more lucrative schemes to attract still more members.
Just continuing with what Dr. Maniar was telling, I would just like to have the opinion of another, female member who is with us, and that is Dr. Chaitra Jaydev. So can we have your opinion, Chaitra?
Yeah, like Dr. Maniar was saying, we have a lot of women in the society, and unfortunately, many of them are not joining into the scheme because I think it's not been very clearly explained as to how it works and what are the major advantages it has over other schemes. And I think that needs to be, clearly elucidated, Rajesh. That is not coming across. And second is, we need to target the youngsters. See, because that initial joining sum becomes a little overwhelming for somebody probably who's closing on 50, and they feel, what is the advantage I have? Whereas for a youngster, the amount is much less of a burden also, and probably social media is a way to go to target that. More than males, because like Dr. Meena mentioned, a lot of them are not even aware of the scheme. That's probably because they're not looking at males. They're more into Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter probably. So you should, or rather, we should target the youngsters through social media. Make some demonstrative, video on how one compares to another. One important point would be with the term insurance, once the insurance period is over, you don't get back anything at all. You know, there's a cutoff timeline where you choose a term insurance for 15 years or 20 years, and after which, unlike a ULIP insurance, you don't get back anything. Whereas in FPS, it is active as long as you are here. So I think that's an important point to bring across as to how it's more beneficial than a term insurance. So these are some of my thoughts on this.
There is one more question, Dr. Chaitra. Now, in the recent COVID times, they say that the retina surgeons are more exposed to the aerosol. And do you suggest recommending this in your retina society and all to all the members to join the FBS?
I think that would be a little scary, sir. I can't tell them that, you
Sure.
are now more at risk for COVID being retina. I don't think retina surgeons are more at risk. If you ask me, it all depends on how much exposure you're having. Irrespective of anybody, if you go down the number of people who are affected with COVID, it's not like the retina guys are right on top there. But no, I don't think so. And this would not be the greatest advice to give. But since one other question came about as to the benefits, any other added SOPs that we can give, maybe sickness and it cannot be linked, because this is more like a life insurance, not related to health benefits. But one thing that we can also probably look into, since we're all professionals, is whether we can add a rider for indemnity. That probably is something, once our numbers increase, whether we can provide them with professional indemnity. Since we're a professional organization, that would be a major advantage if you ask me.
Okay, thank you. There is one question, like the old member is asking, like, when do you have a general body meeting of the Family Benefit Scheme, AOS, and how is it intimated to all the members? Dr. Rajesh.
Yeah, actually, the annual general body meeting is conducted in the during the annual conference of All India Ophthalmic Society, and the information is sent by email to all the members.
And then the other question is, earlier I used to get a hard copy, and nowadays I'm not getting a hard copy. Is it that my address is being missed in the association, or purposefully you're not sending the hard copy?
No, it's actually a sort of a Go Green initiative, and also to we cut cost. We have stopped sending hard copies to all the members actually, and we send hard copies only to those who demand for it, and otherwise it's there on the member dashboard on the website. One can go to the member dashboard. If there's any issue, any problem in logging into the website, then our staff's phone number is there. They can contact the staff. The staff will help them to log into the website, to their own member dashboard. And in their member dashboard, they have all the receipts and what all payments they have done. The details are very nicely, put there. So they can have all the receipts from there. But anyways, even if, if they can't go to the member dashboard, or if there is any issue, then if they demand for it, we send a hard copy to everyone. These days, we are not sending hard copies to everyone.
Yeah, thank you. And one more question from a member is,
Dr. Sharad?
Yeah. How
I
long?
have got
Yeah,
Hello?
Ravindranath.
No, I have got a question from one of my friends.
Yeah.
Is here. If you cannot pay the last 2-3 installments because of some valid reason after having paid 20 installments, so is he denied the benefit, or is there any security for that? Suppose 20-25 years you have paid, last 2-3 because you cannot pay because of some valid reason, ill health or some other reason. So what is the security or cushion given by FBS if in this situation?
See, Ravindra, we have an option of prepay. That means you can pay some amount in advance and keep positive funds in your. Many of us do this so that in case we miss a payment, we are not penalized. So we put 5,000, 10,000 or something additional funds there to take care of such eventualities. But the office does tend to remind you if you miss your payments. So you need to catch up. At the moment, the penalty is very small. for missed payments, delayed payments is only 100 rupees a month is the penalty that we are charging. It's a very nominal amount. The Constitution Review Committee might change that, but as of now, it's a very small amount. And we had about 150 odd people who are behind in their payments. We took advantage of the lockdown to call them up individually. And now we are down to only about 40 members left to make the payment with that small amount of penalty that they are paying. So we are friendly, member friendly. We don't want anyone to miss out on the benefits. So the office will chase them to see that they pay.
Okay. I have got one more question from one of the younger members, that if I become member at age of 30 and there are 4,000 members ahead of me, even if 80% of them die before me, so 600 into 3,200, I'll be paying around 20 lakhs for the 24 lakhs benefit. How do you explain this?
No.
Sharath?
See, when you calculate for the past 15 years, the amount up to now, any member, the first member who has joined in the very first FC, if you calculate, total amount whatever they have paid is only 75,000 rupees, 74,000 and odd, not more than 75,000 in the past 15 years. And as the young members join, because initially what we have done is the lot of members, the age was more when they joined. But now we have limited the age of joining as 49. But only the scheme we have opened is only for one more month, that is June ending, we will be joining up to 56. So the death rate will be much less. The amount what they are going to pay will be much less from here onwards. So last 15 years, they have paid only 75,000. I don't think they will pay not more than 1 lakh or 1,50,000. That is how we calculated at the age of 56 years, they are paying some amount which they haven't paid in the past. That's how the initial amount what they are paying, any member at the age of 56 is around 1.5 or 1.6 lakhs. So it won't be much like 20 or 22 lakhs. Never it will be. But if the young members are joining in a big numbers, naturally this 23 lakhs will become 46 or even more.
Exactly.
That was the statistics posted by that person who is age of 30 years.
Just to add to what Sharath has told, so far we have done payments, and we have done payments to 139 of our deceased members, and over 15 years, if we have paid to 139, it is less per year. So it is not that huge an amount that one has to pay. 1 or 2 years, the number of deaths are more, but otherwise, on an average, you can say that there are 10 deaths per year. So if there are 10 deaths per year, even with 600 rupees, one has to pay only 6,000 per year. So if somebody is a member for 15 years, he will pay just 90,000 rupees. So that is not much.
No, one of the suggestions.
But the key part, Sharath, the key part here is that your scheme is dynamic, whereas in an LIC or any other investment long-term plan, you have a fixed return or a fixed amount which you are insured for. You're insured for, say, 25 lakhs, 50 lakhs, whatever, it's fixed. It won't change. Whereas here, your death benefit increases as the membership grows. From 50,000 to 23 lakhs in a span of 15 years represents 4,600 times. So the growth in terms of the benefit to the member has been phenomenal, and it will continue to increase with time. This is the thing, is it's dynamic in terms of the payouts to you.
One of the suggestions I received from one of my friends is, instead of your family benefit scheme, it is also helping your colleagues' family benefit. It benefits your colleagues' family. So we should highlight it.
Very much.
You should highlight it as you are helping your colleague and your family also. It's not just your family.
Yeah, but
it's also.
Ravindra, the problem is that man is a selfish animal. So first we have to highlight how their family gets benefit.
What I said is, we are just repeatedly telling that it's your family benefit scheme. It's also add that it is your colleague's family benefit also. So if you highlight this more and more times, I think it will have an emotional component attached to a financial component.
Dr. Ravindra,
we'll take
at
that
every meeting we used to say, this is the family benefit scheme is made by the ophthalmologist for the ophthalmologist family. We always say this thing, but problem is that everybody looking that the Muscati has said, their own benefit first. So we want to make it more attractive for individual, then we'll think of the family.
Add an emotional component.
I totally agree with Dr. Chetra. The awareness is not much in this scheme. That's why we are organizing this webinars everywhere. Dr. Rajesh is circulating this flyer every time because people are not aware. We talk to them, they say, okay, what is the content of the FBS? Many people does not know. So this is the biggest problem. Otherwise,
Thank
scheme
you.
is good once they come to know.
There is another question to Dr. Manyar. Now the question is, see, in any insurance scheme, the part of the money which is being paid annually that goes to the insurance company. Is there something like that? This is going to the FBS. What all we are paying, a part of it is going to the society, and also, are these people from the chairman to all the members in the executive committee, are they paid from the family benefit scheme? So this is the question.
I'm glad you asked, to take part one of your question is that we collect about 22 lakhs and we pay 23. So instead of retaining some part of what we have received, we even give it from our interest income. We add an amount from the interest income and we have made it 23 lakhs today. That's one. So we do not retain whatever death benefit of eternal contribution. You pay 600 rupees. All of it goes to the death benefit plus some more from the FBS also. That's one. Second, whether the chairman, the vice chairman or any other, are they paid anything? Certainly not. Not a pie is paid to anybody, and we are all honorary workers here, and everybody works out of just the point is that we want to do something for the society, for our own colleagues. So there is nothing paid to anybody in any capacity, any which way. I'll repeat, nothing is paid to anybody in any capacity, in any which way. No disguised payments or nothing at all.
Make more specific, to make it more specific, Ranjit, when we come to the AIS conference, we pay our own airfare, hotel accommodation, registration charges, and everything. So nothing is paid from the FBS coffers for any office bearer, unfortunately, including the chairman.
Thank you, sir. Now the next question is this.
You can blame the treasurer for this, the ex-treasurer. Sorry.
Sir, this question, I think Dr. Rajvardhan Azad has to answer because he is the man behind this initially to recommend this scheme. How long is this scheme going to last? This is question from one of the members. Dr. Azad, sir?
I think probably he's not there.
He's not there? Yeah, then I think Chairman Dr. Quresh, you can answer this.
Yeah, why would we look at doomsday? This is a fantastic scheme. The members join. This scheme should last as long as AIS lasts, which is hopefully forever. We will not be there, but the youngsters will take it up, and the thing will only become more dynamic and keep on changing as members demand from time to time. So we need more member involvement. Certainly the scheme is not going to die down. The scheme is just going to go and become better and better with time.
Yeah, thank you. There is one more question like, whenever there is a death in the family, when should I apply? Within which time should I apply to the, inform to the association, to the society? And when will I get the money? When will we get the money? This is the question. Dr. Rajesh?
Unmute.
Unmute, Rajesh.
Unmute.
Yeah, sorry. Actually, once there's a death in the family, then obviously you have to do the initial, all those last rites and all that. And then after that, you can apply for it. And basically, you have to apply for it up to 4 months after death. But that is, since it's a society formed by our own colleagues, so it's not a hard and fast rule that, you have to apply within 4 months. But yes, preferably within 4 months of the death, you should apply. And then the total time taken by the society is never more than, I won't say never, but usually not more than 2 weeks, from getting the application and from, and up to giving the benefit in terms of direct transfer to the bank. So we do direct transfer to the bank so that in 2 days time, once every procedure is done, in 2 days time the money is transferred to their account. So that is the advantage of this scheme. But Azad is here now. He is online.
Okay, thank you. Now, how will I know the financials of the society? The question is, like we know that there are some fixed deposits of the family benefit scheme. How can I know what is the amount is there in the association? And also, what is the, how should I know how much I should pay to the society? And can I have like my previous history? So how to follow this? Where will I know all this? Should I ask call your people, or is there any other place where I can do it?
Sharad, we are an extremely transparent society. So if you ask the secretariat or the treasurer about where our funds are invested, they'll be happy to help you. As far as your personal accounts are concerned, the website is so dynamic. All you need to do is to log into your dashboard, and every single payment you've made since the time you joined is there.
Okay, thank you. Now, Dr. Azad sir, we were asking a question you about that. How long is this scheme going to last? This is the question we want to ask you, but we couldn't get you. And what do you suggest, like for the youngsters and for the members, why they should join this scheme?
This is a wonderful question, that how long this scheme will last. And in fact, we were also struggling to understand this when we were having our committee. I think you were also in that committee, and Quresh was also. All of us were there. And I think that the way things are going on now, and I find a lot of progress in the FBS. Today I was silently watching all the lectures and all the comments, and I see a lot of dynamism in the society. And also a lot of new things you have, incorporated, like exit scheme. We were also thinking at one point of time about these exit schemes. And in fact, these exit schemes were long pending demand. And we did not have, I'm a very frank and honest person. We did not have the courage to, implement this exit scheme. But then if you have, implemented it, I think this is a good thing, because this will, I think, definitely attract some people, who at this point of time want to exit for certain reasons. What reasons have been explained. The other thing was the Minu Chakravarti, she made a good presentation. I think what I was thinking is that you take this presentation, take the permission from her, and you can circulate it to all the different zones. In the different zones, if you make a presentation, and this will definitely make an impact on the women who will join the society. And also, she had made a point which came to my mind, and that was giving discount to the women, because everywhere in all the government schemes, even in the bank, the interest rate is higher for the woman. Even for purchasing the land, the registration fees is less for the women. So we have to, think in those terms so that we attract more women for this scheme. So as a mentor, I see a lot of good things happening. And, this webinar, all through I was sitting, just to see, what are being presented. And I'm very happy with the progress. I give my all support to all of you in any point of time. If you need my help, you are most welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Now there is one question regarding the deposits. Again, Dr. Manyar sir, are the deposits of the family benefit scheme in the government banks or any private banks?
Right now, we have restricted everything to government nationalized banks, especially the State Bank of India, which is like the banker to every Indian. That's one. And we have a special finance committee where the current treasurer, that is Dr. Sharad Babu himself, would be chairing that committee and taking the investments in gilt securities which are 100% safe, like bonds, so that the rate of interest earned is little more than the current rate of interest on FDs, which has gone down to about maybe 5.5% only. 5.4, 5.5%. So that, Sharad, I bequeath to you the chairmanship of the finance committee and take it further. But whatever we have invested is safe within State Bank of India.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we'll do that, sir. Probably in the next few months, we'll have a meeting and then decide about the deposits and how to grow the money what we have in the deposits. Now, there's one more question from a member that she had received 1 or 2 ID cards before, and then she is also asking whether is it necessity to have the ID cards with them, because already everything is there in the website and she can log in and then pay whatever it is through website. Is there necessity to have an ID card, and what is the necessity to have an ID card with them? Is
Actually,
it necessary?
can I answer this question?
Yeah.
Actually, in the end, when you ask for the family wants to get the death benefit, this is one of the requirements that you have to submit your certificate and ID card. So I mean, it depends on us. We can modify that. We can just keep it to certificate only and skip that ID card thing. So as of now, it is required because you have to submit it after death, but your family has to submit it after death for death benefit, or now if you are going to take exit scheme. But if we can modify in the bylaws and that there's no need for that, then of course ID card may not be needed.
Yeah, most of the paperwork will be reduced with time as we digitize and go green. So many of these things will be in digital format, and you won't need to preserve pieces of paper like certificates and ID cards in the future. So this is as we go along.
Now, one more question is, now recently you have introduced for this 2 months up to June, for the 56 years who haven't completed 56 years for the joining. You said you have given, is there any other promotional thing which you have added for this? We heard that there is some promotional activity for the members. So how many members, for how many members you are giving that promotional whatever? Can you explain about that?
Yeah. For those who are 49 to 56 years of age, if they join FBS now, before 30th of June, then the first 50 members who will be joining FBS will be given complimentary registration for the AIOC 2021 at Kolkata. For the first 50 members, this is the additional benefit that we are giving to those who are joining now before 30th of June, for those who are 49 to 56 years.
Is there any promotional activity for the youngsters? That is one more question is there.
Yes, that is very much in the pipeline, and you also had suggested something, and we have to work on that. So yes, we are working on that.
Okay, now there is news that the constitution is being formed again. They're again doing a new constitution again, checking all the points, what are there to be changed and all that. When is that going to come? The constitution, the new constitution.
Yeah, as of now, I think within the next week or 10 days, it should be ready to show the managing committee. So it's in the closing stages of completion. Dr. Sriram Murthy, Dr. Manyar, Dr. Mathur, and Dr. Rishi Mohan and others are working very hard on completing this.
And there is one question again, hearing Dr. Manyar Saab, what is the dynamic, you are telling about dynamic society. So what is exactly, we didn't get it, what exactly is the dynamic you are talking about? The dynamic
You
society.
don't get a fixed amount at death, only a fixed at 23 lakhs. It's dynamic. The amount, it can go up to 30, it can go to 46, it can go to 75 lakhs also, depending on the number of members that you have at any given time. The sole purpose of this society is to benefit its members. There is no other axe to grind. We are proactive in giving the death benefit to the nominees. The dynamism is in A, the death benefit given, B, the fraternal contribution or the premium that you pay, that will also go down with time. The second point in dynamism is we've now introduced a new product called an exit scheme. still further as a very responsive society to its members, from based on suggestions that we receive from the members, we'll be formulating more and more and more guidelines, especially which again I am emphasizing this for my colleague Dr. Meena Chakrabarti, that we are targeting the lady ophthalmologist in particular, because she is also a member of AIOS. More than 50% of our AIOS members are ladies, and only 15% are there in FBS. It's a very big dichotomy, and we need to change that fast. We need to change it fast. And we're going to look at this, Meena and all the other ladies, to take a leadership role in this and become our brand ambassadors.
Now there is one more question. When there are so many advantages of joining the family benefit scheme, why is it that initially there is a rise in the membership and after that the membership is not growing? Is that fault of the you members that you are not propagating the scheme, or is it that people are not interested in joining the scheme?
Sharad, for that I have just told that this is our fault, that we could not make people aware.
All of us in management here, all of us in management here have to take it on the chest, and we have to acknowledge that we have not done the best of efforts in propagating this scheme. I think at the last webinar, Quresh took it on his chest and said, on behalf of the entire past and present committees, I take the blame for that. That was greatness on Quresh's part. But basically, it's everybody, all of us who have been there in management, we have to own up and say, yes, we could have done better. We've realized that we didn't do that well, and now we are making amends.
Sharad?
Yes, sir.
wants to say something.
Make it more say, there is no fault in the scheme. The member question is, whether the fault is the scheme or their awareness was not proper. So there is no fault in the scheme. That was the fault of us, that we cannot make them aware to all of us. But now we have started this awareness program. All the zones we are organizing in one zone. So we are expecting, because we have made more dynamic our state representative now, even more responsive to them. So we hope that by the next year we will have more members in this scheme, because the scheme is faultless.
Now there is one more question. When the family benefit scheme is headed by a past president of AOS, why can't you influence the AOS and then see that any member who is joining as AOS is automatically made a member of FBS? So this is one more question. I think Quresh, Dr.
Yeah, good question. As I said in the North Zone meeting also, the unfortunate part is that we are living in a democracy. So we can't really catch everyone's hand and make them FBS members. But Rajesh is sitting there in the headquarters, and the staff which is there is now proactively chasing. There are almost 1,000 members joining AIS every year. So they're trying to chase these youngsters and get them to join the FBS. So we are making efforts in that direction.
Yes, we are making efforts in this direction, and probably last year we called up so many new members and also the previous members. So somehow, I mean, year before last we had added 62 members, but last year we could add 133. So again, the graph has started moving up, and hopefully it will moving up and up.
And there is one last question here in the questions column. So it says finally, how do you differentiate what is the benefits of this family benefit scheme over other insurance schemes? In a nutshell, can you answer in 3-4 points, Dr. Rajesh?
Yeah, definitely. You said 3-4 points. Yes. The first point is that it's basically the money that you are paying is being governed by you only or by your elected members. So there is no risk of any hanky-panky or any, your money getting lost somewhere. That is one. Point number 2 is that when you compare the rates are also better in FBS, and it will keep on getting better as the members, which is not true in any other scheme. Third thing is that in any term insurance, you don't have an exit scheme. Here you have an exit scheme, and I'm telling you by an example, I won't take the name, but one of our senior members who is, a stalwart in the field of ophthalmology, has asked to, he wants to exit and take the benefit of this scheme. So this you don't get in any other term scheme. And fourth point is that in any other term scheme, your benefit is, capped up to a certain age. Here, it is not capped up to any age. Even somebody who is 90 years old can have that benefit and continue to have it. So, apart from all these, the fifth, which is most important point, is that the moment you apply to get the benefit, within a couple of weeks time, you get your money in your account. It is, and without any hassle. So, this is something which is huge, and people have to know about it. Once people will know about it, they will definitely join it, and we don't have any personal interest. It's just that we want to help our own colleagues. We want to help our own members. And at this point of time, we have somebody who has, been a part of, who has become an office bearer very recently, Dr. Inder Mohan Rastogi. I would like to have his active, is also young and dynamic. I would like to have his active contribution in this scheme, and I would like to have his comment on this.
Sir, we have been advertising on the society platform. I am from the Gurgaon Society, and in every meeting and every CME, we have been putting the banner and all that. And even now, going by from Haryana Society also, we have been advertising and calling a few members. And yes, 3 to 4 members, I think I have guided to you also.
Great.
I would like to add few more points over the Rajesh points. What are the benefits of FBS scheme? Rajesh replied you 5 points. 6 points is there is no commission paid to anyone in the FBS scheme. Whatever amount we are taking from you, we are giving it to the benefit of the deceased family. We are not giving commission or cut to anyone. So that your money is not going far away. Your money is, all the money is going to your deceased family. Number 7, no cap on the benefits. The benefits will keep increasing, as Rajesh has told, and there is no hidden agenda. We are not the form of 7 or 8 pages, very small letter font, very small letter written, that you can't read in many insurance schemes. We have only 1-page agenda, and there is nothing hidden agenda. So everything is in front of you. The most transparent scheme available in the market.
Sharad, I would like Dr. Sriram Murthy to give his closing remarks.
Sir, there is one more question.
Yeah.
That is recently, the last one. Why can't you involve the state associations to propagate the family benefit scheme? I think Dr. Sukumar should answer this.
Yeah, we are involved in all the state associations. We have spoken with Kerala, Karnataka, everything. They are also involving. So definitely, even Thangavelu is here. We have asked from our state secretary, Madhavan. They are publishing it in the website and other things. Being done. Thangavelu is also talking with people. As a president, he is also talking with them.
Dr. Thangavelu, sir, would you like to say something?
So you'll have to unmute.
Unmute
Dr.
yourself.
Sriram Murthy, you'll have to unmute. You'll have to unmute, sir.
Yes, sir. Audible, sir?
Yeah, audible, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've just worked on some things. Dr. Rajesh was telling me how to go about it. And we have around 1,620 members who are AIOS members. And out of them, only 270 members. I kept on talking to a lot of people. Where's the problem? And they're not aware of the scheme. That's the first thing what I've learned.
Hello.
Hello. So yes, sir.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, awareness is the main thing which I've come across. I've called a lot of people. And then he gave me the list of 6 people who have not paid up the dues. And 3 of them have immediately responded. They thanked me for reminding me. So some way we have to communicate with them. Maybe we can add a little more numbers. We are working on it with my secretary, TMI secretary, member. And one thing is, wherever we talk, wherever we start a meeting, and I tell them about the scheme. So that will be a very informative place where we can tell this to our members. Then the next thing is, I went through all the data of the members. So the data is not complete, like say the AIOS members, contact numbers, 189 members, that we are not able to, we don't have any contact numbers. And the mail ID, 139 members, we have no mail IDs of just, I'm talking about only Tamil Nadu. So these are all the things, some small things which we can maybe work out, ask people in your office to streamline things, and it must be coordinated with whatever AIOS membership is there, the same name, the same initials, all this, it's all jumbled up, so that can be done. Then that's the database is one thing. The second thing is what I've noticed going through all the records, I'm in the membership, I've noticed that it is most of them are individuals who have become members and not the institution people. And as Dr. Meena said, we need to concentrate on the women who are making a majority of our ophthalmologists. Any conference, any meeting you see, most of them are ladies there sitting there. So we have to target them, create awareness, and the institutions must come forward to take this forward also. I see that I went through the list of, I know personally many of them. Institution members are not members of they're members of AIOS, maybe for presentation, academic views, but when it comes to FBS, they're not members. So some way we have to bring them into this FBS fold also. These are some things which I just noticed. I'm new to this field, so I just brought in a few things for awareness. All the other things which I jotted down, have been told. Thank you.
Very, very valid points, Dr. Thangavelu. Thank you.
Yeah, completely agree with you, sir. That's why I have started working on our RP Center colleagues, and I will request Chaitra also to work on NN colleagues. So we have to work on institutions to get the members.
Just
Sir,
Can we, sir, Sukumar, sir.
See, our Star Wars, just check up whether they are all members for whom we see in the webinar in the past 40 days.
Unfortunately, most of them are more than 56 years, sir.
Sir, they have to be less than 56 to be the.
They're more than 56, most of them.
Give us the list, it will be very nice. You can give us the list of people who are less than 56, so we can target them a little more. Maybe we can do that individually.
Can we ask some inputs from Dr. A. Ravindra, the incoming president of Telangana Ophthalmic Society? Dr. A. Ravindra, are you there?
Ravindra, I think he has left.
He's not there. Okay. So one question is again something else popped up. They are asking, like, do you have any material to propagate the family benefit scheme which can be shown in the state association meetings and all?
You can show the video. The whole video is available to you. You can have a override into any language. It's in English, but you can have an override with any language. You can play with the video. We have also broken the video. It's an 8-minute video. We have broken it into several segments. So you can show 1 minute, 2 minutes as you like, and it's still complete in itself. So that is one. And any flyers you want, any physical material, we have brochures, which Rajesh will be happy to share with you.
Yeah, and sir, to add to this, we will be starting the news bulletin also, FBS newsletter also. So it's almost ready. The first one is almost ready, and we'll be sending maybe within a week. We'll be sending the newsletter. So what we have planned is that at least 6 newsletters will be sent. At least 2 monthly newsletters will be sent to all the members. So these will be sent to the members, but
by email.
By email.
Rajesh, one suggestion: do not send only to members. Send it to all AIS members. Only then they will come to know about the FBS.
Yes.
We should send it to all FBS members. They should be aware of the FBS, not to all AIS members. All the AIS members.
That's a good suggestion. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Dr. Sriram Murthy sir wants to say something, sir.
Yeah.
He has to unmute.
Sir, you have to unmute. Unmute, sir.
Press that button, mute.
Is somebody there to help him?
Beslin, will you be able to unmute?
You're fine.
Left hand side of your screen, Sriram.
He's done it.
It's done. Sir.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I advise, to Dr. Rajesh.
Sir.
He has to add these 2 points in his speech. This scheme is for the benefit of your own colleagues. That's 1 point.
Yes. Sir.
No expenses, TADA is paid to the office bearers. 2nd point. The 3rd point is you have put it on the website, expired members, how much they paid, how much the benefit the nominees got. Let it be there on the website.
Okay.
The other thing is, I think you are telling what is the use of this, identity card. You see, if there is an election, you need an identity card. See, for so many people, identification, that is one of the things. That lady has got two. When somebody asks another, I lost one thing, I want one more card, we usually send them. So that is not a problem. Another thing is, why people are joined, so many people joined in the beginning, it is because of Dr. Rajwardhan Azar. See, he did what I told him to do. You see, he has put everything, join FBS, all the AOS pamphlets, all of these things. Until some problem came from some other people who objected for that. And from then only, the graph has calmed down. That is the thing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sharad, you'd like to conclude because we are not over time.
So we have done a wonderful webinar, and I don't know how many people have attended this meeting, but this we'll have a record, and then I'll put it in the website so that it will be useful for everyone. For the new members who wants to join, they can view this. And thanks a lot, especially the committee, the executive committee, who have spared their time. And this is going on like even though they started this program almost in the COVID time when we are free, but even after the lockdown is going on, everybody has spared some time for this meeting. And thanks for their enthusiasm. The youngsters also who have joined recently the FPS. And thanks a lot for everyone, and especially Dr. Rajesh Sinha for his commitment and for organizing all this. So, and Dr. Rajib, he is the person who was after me to do this for the South Zone, because it was a very good, big success after Satanshu and Deepak Mishra has done in the North. So thank you very much. And thank you, Dr. Sukumar sir, and who has coordinated all the South Zone members to be together in this meeting. And thank you, Chairman, for giving us this opportunity to conduct this meeting.
Thank you all. Thank you all, and bye-bye.
Sir, I would just like to add one thing. I would like to thank the admin as well as the staffs of FBS AIOS, and especially Bageshwar, who has really worked hard to make it successful.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sharad, and thank you all the hosts.
And thank you, Sharad. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Many happy returns of the day.